This is where the game is at today for Memorial. Hello, everybody, and live from the Eagles Nest, it's Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe girls basketball. Today, the Memorial Old Abes take on the Hudson Raiders. Well, the big story for the Old Abes, would Nora Kling be able to go? And the unfortunate news for them is it will be no more Nora Kling for the remainder of the season, out with an ACL tear off a fall against Hudson in Hudson 4 days ago. I'm Derek Montesano. I'll be doing your coverage of today's Memorial Hudson matchup. Memorial come into this game tied for the top of the BRC with a 9-1 conference record, 14-4 overall. Their only conference loss so far coming against these Hudson Raiders 4 days ago. Whereas for the Hudson Raiders, they're on the outside looking in the conference race. An 8-2 record in conference. They can really shake up Memorial if they're able to go today. Well, for Memorial, the simple fact is you lose one of your star players in Nora Kling. You lose about 15 points per game for today's game and for the remainder of the season, which puts a dampen in your ultimate playoff run, in your hopes of BRC championships. It does put a damper in that, but it doesn't eliminate you by any means. This one is going to be a huge one for Memorial, for the Old Abes. You have a little bit of a schedule for you. I'll use this analogy. The practices you have weekly, those are your everyday homework assignments, after school stuff. Then you get your quizzes. Those are games like the North one and the New Richmond games that have been flawlessly handled by Brandon Fanning's team. Then you get your tests, those being Hudson and Rice Lake. Those two top of the conference, arguably contenders to overtake Memorial this year after the undefeated conference run a season ago. Memorial defeated Rice Lake here with a 71-68 buzzer beater win, thanks to Ava McCarthy. But you look at, and I keep going back to what happened 4 days ago with Hudson winning by 11. But the simple fact is, when you play each other, it usually tells you a lot about how the matchup stands. And for Hudson, they've got to be feeling good coming into this game, led by junior Olivia LeBlanc, who averages about 13 points a game in an offense that is very spread out amongst their top 5 starting players. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays a role in how they play today. Memorial's going to have to shut down everybody, is how Hudson plays. They force you to defend everybody. You can't just rely on stopping one person like it had been last year with Nora Kling for Memorial, had been a little bit with Evelyn Bast for Memorial. It's one of the situations where Hudson, very spread out team. They play good defensive ball, and they're able to catch you with numerous scoring threats. Well, let's get you today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Hudson Raiders, they send out the sophomore Libby Bartz, the sophomore Devin Larson, the sophomore Jaden Matasinski, the junior Olivia LeBlanc, and the junior Gretchen Witten. As for the Old Abes, they send out the senior Raya Shaw, the freshman Ava McCarthy, the senior Cora Graham, the freshman Veronica Fesenmeyer, and the sophomore Ava Hoytompt. I'll step aside as from the Eagles Nest here at Memorial High School, our national anthem.
And now And those defending our pregame against those who are able to please stand up, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart with the playing our national anthem by the Memorial High School Met Band. Under the direction of Mr. Dominic Gilmar and Mr. Eric Casher this evening.
The Memorial Pep Band with another great rendition of our national anthem. You heard them a little bit during the pregame before I hopped on, and you may have even heard them in the background while I was talking, but Memorial's Pep Band here once again tonight, and I do have a few questions that I really need answered. I've tried asking members of the band. They've not been super helpful. One of them is the obvious one. Why do they leave at halftime at the games instead of staying for the full game? And another one is, can they please pick some different songs to play during the pregame? They play the same things every single time. It's beginning to drive me a little insane. Well, they're going through the Memorial starters right now, as they send out this time for Memorial. They're sending out good three-point shooters in Ava McCarthy and Ava Hoytomt, who have been very good from beyond the arc. Ava Hoytomt specifically has developed into a very good three-point shooter. See, Ava McCarthy came in a very good long-range shoot. So we'll see what that brings to Memorial. Rhea Shaw out there once again. She's been the big playmaker for this Old Abe's team. So it'll be Rhea Shaw off the tip-off, taking up against Libby Bart, the 5'11 sophomore. That goes to Hudson. And here we go. Both players ready. Ball's up in the air, and it is controlled by the Raiders and Jaden Matazinski. Matazinski over to Bart. Bart back to Matazinski in the paint. Loses the handle on it, but gets it right back. A scramble for it on the floor, and they're going to get the travel on Matazinski. So Jaden Matazinski the turnover, and Memorial the early basketball. Jaden Matazinski, brother, by the way, Jace Matazinski, a standout on the Hudson boys team. Here's Rhea Shaw. Stops, throws it to McCarthy. McCarthy into the paint, spins out, back to Shaw. Shaw surveys, then goes back to McCarthy, loses the handle, but gets it right back. And now she has the ball ripped away from her. On the floor gathering it is Gretchen Witten, who goes to Olivia LeBlanc, and Hudson gets it right back. LeBlanc, the highest scorer on this high spread out offense. To the near side, here's Witten. Nearly has it ripped away by Cora Graham. Witten into the paint. Pass to Bart. Bart's under the hoop, needs an outlet. Trying to get some help from Matazinski, who actually has it tipped right back to Bart. Open pass to Witten in the paint driving. And Gretchen Witten with the first 2 points of the game for Hudson. Shaw will go to McCarthy, and now Cora Graham near wing. Graham gets bumped into by Devin Larson for the Raiders. So first foul of the game will be committed by the Raiders and Devin Larson. Here's Cora Graham to take the inbound for Memorial. Will inbound to Rhea Shaw in the backcourt. Shaw to McCarthy. McCarthy drives into the block, goes back outside to Fesenmeyer. Fesenmeyer back to Cora Graham, wide open underneath, but couldn't finish off the layup. And the rebound to Gretchen Witten. Up the floor comes Witten. She'll go to Matazinski. Matazinski to Bartz. Libby Bartz. Back to Witten. Into the paint. Hesitates, then throws it. Unable to gather. It was Larson. But she finds Libby Bartz to Olivia LeBlanc. Hudson beginning to try to set up an offense. Libby Bartz in the corner. Bartz lobs it down low for LeBlanc. Bounce feed to a wide open driving Witten. And she's going to get the hoop and the extra foul on top of it. As driving in, Cora Graham ran right into her. And it's 4-0 Hudson here at the start of the game. And for Memorial, something that's been rare to them apart from these good teams of Rice Lake and Hudson trailing. Well, the shot is missed, so she cannot complete the three-point play. Here comes Rhea Shaw quickly at the floor. Goes to Abby Larson, who's checked in. Larson to Hoyt-Tomt. Back to Abby Larson, couldn't gather it. And grabbed by Olivia LeBlanc. LeBlanc ahead to Matazinski. Into the corner for Devin Larson. Devin Larson Euro steps her way through and finds the easy two. Hudson on an early 6-0 run. And Memorial finally gets some points on the board. Hoyt-Tomt spinning into the paint, puts up a layup, no, off the glass. And here comes Devin Larson for Hudson with speed. Devin Larson with a burst of speed through traffic gets hauled down. And we'll see if they say she was in the act of shooting. And it looks like they will. So they are going to give Devin Larson the shots here. Foul on Rhea Shaw for Memorial. First shot from Larson's up and she makes it. So a 7-0 game. And Memorial, come the offensive end, haven't been able to put in the shots off the backboard so far. Second shot from Larson also falls. And an 8-0 start for the Hudson Raiders. Shaw needs an outlet, goes to Abby Larson. Ava Hoyt on top of the key. Memorial having a hard time getting shots away. She gets double teamed, finds Abby Larson. Open three. She hits the side of the rim. And back the other way, Libby Bartz, I should say. Able to sneak it over top of a defender and put it in. It's a 10-0 lead for the Hudson Raiders, and Coach Fanning needs to use a timeout. 10-0. Hudson leads to start this ball game. And for Memorial, they're having shooting issues right now, unable to get shots away. And then you look at Abby Larson, just there with that wide open three that she shot it too short. It's just one of those things. They got to capitalize on offense, and they had issues even creating chances to capitalize. And when they get them, they're also not punishing Hudson. Whereas come the other way, you look at the Raiders, done a very good job of punishing Memorial at any chance. Well, 10-0 for Hudson as Memorial will inbound on the hoop to our right. Shaw up the floor. Shaw at the free throw line, goes to Ava McCarthy near side. McCarthy drives in, goes to Evelyn Bast. Bast, the standout freshman, drives in the paint, throws it next. 3 on the way from Fesenmeyer. Bats off the back heel and out. And here comes Jaden Matazinski. Matazinski trying to do it all herself, gets the foul called on her way to the rim. the Matazinski to the line to shoot 2 more. And Memorial, yet for a rarity for them, a high-flying offense they have been numerous times, struggling to put points on the board right now. Matazinski misses the first free throw. Yeah, it's one of those things that we're just having issues putting the ball in the hoop. One of those cliches, put the ball in the hoop, but it really fits. We're 4 minutes into the game. Memorial have yet to put a point on the board and trail 11-0. Shaw to Ava McCarthy near side. McCarthy finds an opening, drives through, puts up the shot, and she gets it. Ava McCarthy finally puts the Old Abe's on the board. A 4 minutes of no score, and then quickly back the other way. A friendly roll for Libby Bratz goes on down. Now, here's Shaw. Free throw line, hesitates, spins around, goes to Larson. Evelyn Bast on the far side. Evelyn, Katie Toutant to Rhea Shaw. Throws it off the baseline to Jaden Matazinski, who could not corral it, and it'll skirt out of bounds. (13-2) right now. And for Memorial, they need to go on their very own run sometime in the near future before Hudson thinks about pulling away. McCarthy, spin around, jump shot, falls. McCarthy's got all the scoring so far. She's got all 4 points. Here's Larson. Over to Olivia Otheris. To Libby Bartz. To near side Devin Larson. Larson finds a pass in the paint. Hesitates, now puts up a floater. It's off the front rim. Rebound, squirms free, and they're going to give it to Memorial. Off the hands of Olivia LeBlanc. And the Old Abes, a chance to go back the other way and potentially begin to close the gap Hudson has built. Shaw, top of the key. Hudson to Ava McCarthy. McCarthy into the paint. McCarthy, difficult shots, an air ball. LeBlanc up to Larson. Here's Devin Larson to the near side, Matazinski. Over, 3 on the way from Libby Bartz, doesn't go. Offensive rebound to Lazarus. To Larson. Over to LeBlanc. Back to Libby Bartz. Hudson setting up. LeBlanc finds a pass, drives into the paint, gets it just over the rim and into the basket. I'll need an answer, trailing by 11. McCarthy, step back 3, it's an air ball. And it's going to trickle on out of bounds. And the shooting woes continue right now for Memorial beyond the arc. Yet to make a 3 ball despite attempting numerous of them. 3rd attempt so far. And 2 of them have been air balls. So not the ideal start you'd want from Memorial, especially against such a high-ranking conference opponent. Here's Devin Larson. Over to Allie Yeager. Yeager. Over to Libby Bartz underneath the hoop, who spins around and puts it in. Memorial trying to counter with some speed. Cora Graham. Loses the handle on it. Tries to rip it away, and a held ball situation's going to get called. It'll stay with Memorial on the alternating possession arrow. 13-point Hudson lead. Hudson doesn't have their standout player at all, but they're able to put a lot of points up on you if you're not careful. And that's right now what they're doing. Here's Ava McCarthy on a drive, and she can't get it to fall. There's something up with that hoop. It's just not falling right now for the Abes. Here's Larson. And Larson spins around, needs an outlet, finds Gretchen Witten, who travels with the ball. Gretchen Witten, the junior junior for the Raiders, turns the ball over. Memorial looking to make something happen here offensively. The team's very good at putting up a lot of points. In fact, they just recently put up 100 on New Richmond. So the fact they only have 4 is the shock mark. Raya Shaw makes it 6 as she drives through a contested layup. And it's an 11-point ball game. Here's Osterhuis to Witten. Devin Larson on the far wing. Larson over to Osterhuis. Osterhuis waits on the near wing, now drives into the paint. Awkward pass. Devin Larson is able to secure it though for Hudson and keep the play alive. Osterhuis at the free throw line finds Allie Yeager. Her effort doesn't get up over the rim. And Rhea Shaw with speed. Rhea Shaw tries to do it herself, and she does. Rhea Shaw, beautiful play. Sneaking underneath the defender and putting in the layup off the glass. And Hudson will use their first time out. 9-point ball game right now as Memorial's beginning to get the offense going after the first 4 minutes of no score came and went. Now the big question is, are they able to keep holding Hudson on the defensive end and not let Hudson get themselves some more scores and stops to pull away from Memorial? Well, coming out of the timeout, it'll be Hudson basketball. It'll be an inbound on their own end. It'll be Osterhuis to take it. Olivia Osterhuis, 5'8" senior for the Raiders. It's a decent amount of playing time for them. Here's Devin Larson, hesitating. Now to Osterhuis. Osterhuis to Witten. Gretchen Witten lobs it under the hoop for LeBlanc. She has it ripped away by Rhea Shaw. Rhea Shaw on a fast break the other way. Hesitates, waits for help, and a pass intended for Ava McCarthy is tapped out of bounds by Libby Bartz for the Raiders. Memorial will keep the basketball. Thanks to Cora Graham to inbound to Rhea Shaw. Shaw lost the handle on it, got it right back. Cora Graham able to Hoyt-Tomp for 3. Splashed! Nothing but net for Ava Hoyt-Tomp. Boy, has she become a great 3-point threat. And the lead cut to 6. Here's Osterhuis to Olivia LeBlanc as it's thrown around the horn to Devin Larson. Larson drives up to the top of the key. Now into the paint. Finds an outlet in Osterhuis. Osterhuis high. Bounce off the glass. And Hudson responds. Here's Ava McCarthy. In the paint. Now hesitates. Goes to Ava Hoyt-Tomp. Thought about the 3. Now drives in. Back outside Cora Graham. Ava McCarthy. She wants some help. Gets Cora Graham. Graham to Evelyn Bass. Bass, the freshman, drives through. Can't get it up. And a rebound grab by Olivia LeBlanc. Up the floor by Devin Larson. Devin Larson with speed. Puts it up. Gets a friendly bounce off the side rim. That hoop's been very nice to Hudson so far. It's a 10-point ball game. Fast. Up the key. Bounce Ava Hoyt-Tomp. Rhea Shaw. Into the far corner, Cora Graham. Graham. Through traffic, gets dragged down. And they're going to call a travel here on Cora Graham. I guess they say she slipped instead. Slipped and fell instead of being dragged down. And Hudson the ball. Up by 10 with the potential to add a little bit more. Right now the main offense has been Libby Bartz and Devin Larson, but Devin Larson just made her way back onto the bench for Matazinski. Here's LeBlanc. Around to Matazinski, back to LeBlanc. She'll shoot at top of the key, 3, and nothing but net. Hudson's having a great time right now with their shooting. It's been great so far. Katie Toutant to Veronica Fesenmeyer. Fesenmeyer, Hoytant. Abel Hoytant found the way through. She got whacked. And some protest from the Hudson fans, but to be honest, that got Hoytant right in the face from Gretchen Witten. Correction, Jaden Matazinski is who they got that on. Yeah, some may argue that was more of a flop, but no, it looked like Hoytant got nailed in the face. Larson pounds the rock underneath, but cannot get it to fall right now. She's got bad rim luck right now, just unable to get the bounce. Here's LeBlanc. She'll shoot a 3. Rattles out, no. Rebound grabbed by Hoytant for Memorial. Toutant. New has it ripped away. They're getting a foul here on Olivia LeBlanc as she tried to rip the ball free. Both teams on 3 fouls, so nobody's super concerned about foul numbers quite yet. Rhea Shaw over to Ava McCarthy on the far wing. McCarthy pounds into the paint. Out of the back, Toutant to Rhea Shaw, who will call the play. Shaw. Evelyn Bass now, far side. Works it to McCarthy. McCarthy into the paint. Hesitates. Now goes to Abby Larson. Thought about the 3. Now she drives. Hudson wanted to travel, but instead the ball is blocked by Gretchen Witten out of bounds. It'll stay Memorial ball. Here's the inbound for Katie Toutant. Throws it all the way out to Rhea Shaw. Shaw bullies her way into the paint, and she has it rejected by Libby Bartz. Now quickly the other way. Devin Larson. Larson finding an opening. Goes back inside to Witten for 3, and she nails it. And the lead back up to 16 for Hudson. Memorial need to find a response. Rhea Shaw gets swarmed, finds Abby Larson. Larson to Katie Toutant. Evelyn Bast. On the far side, Nearly has it poked away by Matazinski. Rhea Shaw. Goes for a long-range jumper, doesn't fall, and the ball goes right over Abby Larson's head and into the hands of Devin Larson. LeBlanc thought about the 3, throws it to the near side for Matazinski. Now here's a handoff and a drive by Libby Bartz off the mark, and they're actually going to say it was tipped by an Old Abe. It's not been the ideal first half for the Old A's right now. They had that little burst of offense. Here's a 3 by LeBlanc. It's an air ball. And the rebound grab by Corcoran. It's not been the ideal offensive start. They've had the offensive run for a little bit. And here's a steal by Olivia LeBlanc. And LeBlanc up the floor gets Cora Grant. She puts it right over her. And Fanning's going to use another timeout to talk this one over. It's a 18-point ball game right now. And Memorial struggling mightily to get going right here. I mean, I like to point fingers at the offensive side of the ball. In fact, you don't score enough, especially against a team like Hudson. They're going to punish you. And right now, that's been the case with 3 players being the majority of their scoring, that being Libby Bartz, Devin Larson, and Olivia LeBlanc, who's now got 7 points. Those 3 have been the majority of the scoring. 19 out of the 29 points, for those of you who don't want to do the math in your head. Those three combined have more points, have outscored Memorial by 8. And if you just took them out of the equation, it would be Memorial. Unfortunately, they've been unable to defend those three consistently, and they've been putting points on the board. Well, here we go out of the timeout. 5:30 left in the first half. Abe's looking for a rally. Remember, they were down 10 at the half up against Rice Lake earlier this season at home. Bast, bounce to McCarthy. Back to Bast. Rhea Shaw near side. Shaw, back to Evelyn Bast. Bast finds McCarthy. McCarthy tries to drive through, throws it back outside to Katie Toutant. Over to McCarthy, 4-3! Rattles out, no. And the rebound to Olivia LeBlanc. To Allie Yeager. Yeager, near side Larson. Evan Larson, one of the three big threats. Same goes to the one who has it now, LeBlanc. Back to Bartz. Libby Bartz. Up to LeBlanc. Between the wheels. LeBlanc. It has it peanut punched away by Rhea Shaw out onto her own bench. It'll stay with the Raiders. Larson on the inbound. Throws it into Libby Bartz. Bartz to Jaden Matazinski. Larson. Olivia LeBlanc now. LeBlanc into the main. Lobs it over top to Libby Bartz, and she's able to put in the layup. There's Shaw. And the Meyer, Ava McCarthy. McCarthy loses the handle. Regathers around to Fesenmeyer. Veronica Fesenmeyer. Hand off to Ava McCarthy, top of the key. What can McCarthy cook up? Throws it a wide open Cora Graham in the paint. And Cora Graham, the 2 points. Trims it back down to an 18-point game. But here's the hard part. Stopping Hudson consistently now. LeBlanc. And a handoff, reverse layup by Libby Bartz. And we're back up to a 20-point ball game. Ava McCarthy. Over to Cora Graham. 3 minutes left in the first half. Lob back to Cora Graham, who gets fouled. With the ball, they're not shooting, it looks like. Yeah, it'll be non-shooting. Didn't quite catch the number. I want to say it was Devin Larson, and it was Devin Larson on the foul. Down 33-13, and it is very abnormal for Memorial to only have 13 points at this juncture, while also giving up as many as they have. McCarthy's attempt is way too short, and the rebound the other way with Allie Yeager. Yeager to Jaden Matazinski. Over to Olivia Osterhus. Witten. Yeager now. Back to Jaden Matazinski. Goes to Libby Bartz. Into the far corner, Allie Yeager. Yeager. Up to Osterhus. Yeager now. Hudson's got all the time in the world. Witten. Russian Witten. Goes to the far side now. And we'll give it to Libby Bartz. Up top, Yeager. Tries to throw it underneath. Gets a lucky bounce off some Memorial player. And now Ava Hoytom's going to commit a foul in the act of shooting on Allie Yeager. So she's back to the free throw line to shoot 2. First free throw's up, and the first free throw falls. It's a 21-point lead for the Hudson Raiders right now, and things are looking very bleak for the Old A's in a huge conference matchup. Second shot falls as well, so it's a 22-point ball game for Hudson. Hoyt Thompson, top of the game, drives through the paint, tries to put up a shot, she got fouled. As we'll see who got committed the foul there. Again, Gretchen Witten, who got committed the foul on Ava Hoyt Thompson. Hoyt Thompson at the line. Hoyt Thompson's first shot falls, and it's a 21-point ball game. Memorial's going to have to get a lot of scores and stops. Go on a big run here. Go on something to close out the half. You'll take trimming the deficit by 5 or 10. You don't need to get it all back right now. Hoyt Thompson made both of those free throws. And now, here come Hudson. They're relentless. Osterhus tries to go back to Allie Yeager. Kind of missed her target, but Allie Yeager was able to run onto it. Here's Madison. Correction. Here's LeBlanc. Allie Yeager goes underneath for a driving Gretchen Witten. And Memorial are currently getting bullied underneath that basket right now. Abby Larson. McCarthy tries for the 3. She got it. Ava McCarthy a 3. As we approach the final minute of the first half. Here's Jaden Matazinski over to Allie Yeager. Yeager to Witten. Gretchen Witten now at the paint. Witten drives into the right block, spins out, throws up a shot. She travels. Gretchen Witten right on the left block commits the travel. 50 seconds left here in the first half, and if Memorial can even get one more basket on Hudson, you begin to feel a little bit good going into the break. Cora Graham, the inbounder, Rhea Shaw. Shaw will walk it up the floor. Rhea Shaw bullies her way through, throws it back out to McCarthy for 3. Nothing as it lifts out. And back the other way with Osterhus. Osterhus into the corner for Libby Bartz. Back outside, Jaden Matazinski. Allie Yeager for 3. That's no good. 20 seconds left in the first half. A stretch pass to Evelyn Bass. Bass tries for her own reverse layup, hit the bottom of the backboard. Ball still loose. And it's going to be a held ball. That will be in favor of Hudson now with 10 seconds left in the first half. It's been a rare situation for Memorial where Hudson's played the much better game. It's a 19-point difference. Memorial trail by double their score right now. Final 10 seconds. We'll see if Hudson can get one more shot away. Here's a drive into the corner for Libby Bartz. She can't get it to fall, and the clock will hit double zeros as a flail shot from Olivia LeBlanc comes to nothing. And that's the end of half number 1. The Hudson Raiders lead 37-18 in what has been a Hudson-controlled first half. Hudson, sheer way to put it is they kind of dominated Memorial there in that first half. A lot of changes going to have to be made for the Old Days in the second half. Coming up in about 10 minutes. I'll be back with you then. You're watching Memorial Old Abe Girls Basketball on Old Abe TV.
We'd like to recognize the futures of our basketball program. We're excited to welcome our youth basketball players who are here with us tonight. When your team is called, please make your way out to the court to be recognized. Let's hear a big round of applause as we welcome our youth teams this evening. First of all, welcome members of our fourth grade teams. And our eighth grade team. These young athletes are working hard and representing the next generation of our program. We're very proud of you all out there tonight and can't wait to see you playing on this very court in the years to come. Let's hear it for our youth basketball players this evening.
Gather back around, everybody. Second half of Memorial girls basketball action about to get underway in about 3 minutes. It's Hudson 37 and Memorial 18. And for the Old Apes, this is not a normal position for them. It's in a night where the offense is not really making their shots, and the defense is kind of getting bullied by Hudson. It's just been the 1-2 punch Hudson been giving them, which is why the score is so lopsided. All Memorial can ask for is to kind of chip back in this game. You gotta cut the deficit one piece at a time. You can't go for it all and go for the 19-0 run. You gotta chip away, outscore them each possession, and then eventually you'll be able to bring this game closer from there. The hard part is executing that down by such a huge margin in a night where you need to double your score just to be 1 point behind your opponent right now. Well, 90 seconds away from the return to action here. Memorial kicking up some last-minute shots as the band you see vacating the premises. Again, that's one of my questions about the band. Why do they leave at halftime at these games? They're indoor games. It's not... Well, I can maybe understand leaving at halftime at the outdoor games, like the football, just because cold weather isn't great for like brass instruments. But these are room temperature games that they are leaving right now, and it's not like their instruments aren't used to cold weather either. They do hockey games as well. So that's why I have a few questions about the whole leave at halftime thing. And I don't know. I'm bound to find the answer eventually if I just keep digging for it. Alright, 37-18. And what can Brandon Fanning's team cook up today? Speaking of Coach Fanning, I had him for health last semester. And I did mention a few things about some brownie points. Well, that resulted in me finishing his semester with an 89.97%. I was 0.03 off an A- in his class. And I think if I did just a little bit more, one more assignment, it would have been an A-. It's probably on me, come to think of it. And I got a 20 out of 31 on an assignment. I was gone a day that I didn't think to make up because it was right at the end of the semester. But 89.97 in Fanning's class for that semester. All right, well, his team's out there coming out of the second half, needing a rally. Here's Shaw as they attack the hoop to our right. McCarthy drives in the paint. McCarthy goes up for a bounce in off the glass, and she gets 2 points to start off the second half. Now attacking this way, Devin Larson to Gretchen Witten. Witten inside for Libby Bartz. Bartz on McCarthy. Goes back outside. Matazinski to Bartz. Bartz tries to throw it underneath to Witten and completely missed her target as it went behind Witten and out of bounds to the baseline. Memorial basketball. Shaw. She takes the ball up the floor for Memorial. McCarthy now. She had that buzzer beater against Rice Lake earlier this season as she had to throw it inside, hit off Fesenmeyer's fingertip, I guess, and went out of bounds. So, Raiders ball right back. As here they come again with Gretchen Witten. Libby Bartz. Bartz. Tried to, now overhead passes into the corner with Evan Larson. Larson finds a pass, lays it up and in off the window. Hudson's got those 2 points back. Continuing to keep this one out of the range of a Memorial rally. Rhea Shaw in the near corner. Shaw up the court. Her efforts blocked by Witten. And Hudson with Matazinski. Jaden Matazinski, step back jumper, falls off the window. Here I come. The Hudson Raiders with a chance to really put this one out of Memorial's reach. McCarthy lost the handle on it, couldn't find it, and Jaden Matazinski has got it. Matazinski to Libby Bartz. Top of the key, spinning around. Now throws it in for Olivia LeBlanc. LeBlanc working on Feathermeyer, doesn't get the first one. Second effort doesn't go either. And the rebound for McCarthy. Here's Aaron McCarthy. Memorial really needs to start capitalizing on these offensive ends. Shaw lost the ball again. Ball's on the floor. It's a scramble for him. We'll see what they're going to get. It's going to be a held ball, but in favor of Hudson. So Matazinski to inbound with Hudson up by 21 on this Memorial team, which notably are missing Nora Kling, but you wouldn't think this would have such a big effect as a runner on the lane from Devin Lawson falls. You wouldn't think, albeit Kling's a huge piece, you wouldn't think that would cause this team to struggle as badly as Abby Larson finally gets her lucky bounce, and it bounces in off the rim. Yeah, but you wouldn't expect the offense to be this stymied by Hudson. Witten spinning on Abby Larson, goes to LeBlanc. Into the corner now, Bartz. LeBlanc now, back to Bartz in the far corner. Bartz goes up top of the key, hand off LeBlanc for three. She got it. And it's coupled with the fact that Hudson aren't really missing. Abby Larson drives in from the corner, puts up a shot. It's an air ball, and Olivia LeBlanc will opt to keep it in and move up the floor. Libby Bartz to Gretchen Witten. He's an outlet, now sneaks by Larson. Puts up an effort, it rolls off the rim. And Fesenmeyer trailing big, and there's going to be a foul as Fesenmeyer's running through on Olivia LeBlanc. That'll be LeBlanc's second. This one getting away from the old Abes. In what has been a very unexpected offensive struggle so far. Shaw tries a three of her own, back rim all the way out to Matazinski. And there's another thing, these have been one and dones every time. Here's Matazinski, top of the key. He has it poked away by Rhea Shaw. Into the paint, Libby Bartz. Her effort off the glass goes up and in. Here's Shaw again. She loses it off a foot. And Allie Yeager gets it up to Olivia Osterhus. Osterhus on a receive feed from Bartz. And it's a 50-22 game for the Hudson Raiders. And wow. This is unexpected that Memorial, a team that had been so dominant a season ago, had been very dominant up to this point this year, even won a game 132, are getting dominated by the Hudson Raiders 50-22. I'm not sure what to even say at this point. It's been all Hudson. Hudson's been playing a great game. They've played well on the offensive end, and they've shut down Memorial every time they go down. Even when Memorial gets a shot away, it's one and done every single time. Memorial aren't getting these offensive rebounds that they need in order to try to come back at all. Well, now they're down 28 points. So now you start to get concerned about running clock if you're Memorial. Something they haven't experienced in years. Could very much be a feasible reality. Here comes McCarthy. Ava McCarthy. Up to Evelyn Bass. Thought about the 3. Now goes to Katie Toutant. Toutant to Abby Larson. Here's McCarthy. Drives in. Goes to Fesenmeyer. Katie Toutant now. McCarthy. Top of the key. She surveys. Larson. Bass. Memorial can't find a way through. Bass gets double teamed on the floor. Rolls it free to Fesenmeyer to keep it alive. Here's McCarthy, and Memorial can't find a way to get into the paint. Toutant will drive. Toutant gets double teamed. Throws it to McCarthy. She'll go through. That's off the back rim. Offensive rebound doesn't go from Fesenmeyer. Gets her own rebound and throws it right off the hands of Devin Larson. Osterhus. Up to Bartz. Here's a drive in from Devin Larson. Goes to Allie Yeager. Over to Olivia Osterhus. Devin Larson. Larson on the drive. Needs an outlet. Finds it at the top of the key in Libby Bartz. Allie Yeager. Over to Osterhus. Osterhus on the drive. Finds Devin Larson. Devin Larson on the drive. She finishes it with the left hand. It's a 30-point blowout right now. Here's Ava McCarthy. Bast. Then here's that Katie Toutant. Fesenmeyer. McCarthy. Katie Toutant. Toutant goes into the paint. Gets fouled by Osterhus. So that won't be 2 shots. She was not in the act of shooting. It'll be the inbound underneath the basket. When Memorial lost 4 days ago to this Hudson team, yeah, they lost by 11, but they were in the game. They were consistently in the game. They were only down 2 for a good portion of it. This is a completely different story. McCarthy. Up top, Toutant will try a 3. That's off the rim and out. And now you're starting to notice a hero ball beginning to be played. A lot of 3 attempts. Trying to get it a lot of it back at once. As here's a misfire intended for Olivia LeBlanc. That missed the target. Or the ball down 30. This is a situation the Apes haven't found themselves in years, getting absolutely dominated by a school and unable to get the offense really going. McCarthy spinning around, bounce up to Cora Graham. Katie Toutant now on the far wing. Throws it to Cora Graham. Graham wins the ball and was fouled as she tried to spin her way free. Foul on Allie Yeager for Hudson. Hard to say. Memorial's got a lot going for them right now. And if they want to make a playoff run, they're going to need to start winning these games. Here's Fesenmeyer, a 3. That comes to nothing. And back the other way, an attempt from Witten goes too strong off the glass. Here's Fesenmeyer. McCarthy with 10 minutes left in the ball game. McCarthy's attempt does not fall. Rebound gathered by Witten up to LeBlanc. And here come Hudson again. It's the fact that they've only got 22 that's really shocking me. They've had a few offensive bursts but have struggled offensively most of the night. Here's a 3 That's off the mark, but the offensive rebound from LeBlanc falls. The initial three, by the way, taken by Allison Dombrowski. And now Olivia. Oh, and they're going to give this one to Hudson after Olivia LeBlanc clearly knocked that one out. They're going to say it hit two-taunt. It's not like Memorial needs more against them right now. It's a 32-point game, and we are in danger of seeing running clock in a game that coming in, Memorial thought they'd have a great chance at taking this one from Hudson. As stepping out on the baseline is Libby Bartz. I'm telling you, coming into this game, this looked like it was going to be a good heavyweight matchup. Two top tier team in the BRC going head to head. Memorial's home court, and that currently is not the case. McCarthy spins around, draws some contact from Libby Bartz. She'll go to the line to shoot two. It's not like Hudson scored a crazy high amount. It's just Memorial haven't really been able to get much of an offense going. First one does fall for McCarthy. They've been able to take refuge in Ava McCarthy's 10 points right now. But the scoring has not been coming for Memorial all game long. Just one of those days for the Old Abes. Second shot from McCarthy also falls. It's back down to a 30-point ball game with 9 minutes left, and if the A's want any shot, they're going to need to score pretty much every single possession from here on out and get a lot of defensive stops. Here's Bartz up top for Sydney Drummer. Drummer drives in. She doesn't get it to go. And the rebound taken by Evelyn Bast. Bast stretch past the Hoyt-Tomt. Into the corner, two-taunt to three. And she's got it. Katie two-taunt the three. Now they've got to keep building those together. They got to keep pasting those together. Copy, paste, Control-C, Control-V. Every single time from here on out to at least make this game look closer. Here's Bartz. Guarded by Shaw. Near had it ripped away by Hoyt-Tomt. Yeager. Near side. Getting up, guarded by two-taunt. Now throws it over to Allison Dombrowski. Here's Witten. Hudson taking their sweet time here. Dombrowski. Back into Witten. Witten. Goes underneath to Bartz. And Hudson continue to reset. Here's a hook shot from Dombrowski. And that's an impressive make from Dombrowski. A hook shot. The 1960s style basketball. The hook shot in the paint. Here's Bassett drive. She gets fouled on her way through, so she'll take a couple of shots. But that bled off a good minute of clock, that Hudson possession. So I'm not sure, but it's pretty likely it's getting close to the point where we can put any hope of a Memorial comeback to bed in this one. They went down 34 points. Were outscored at one point. Actually, 34. At one point, were outscored over 50-22. It's been one of those nights for the Old Abes. Bass makes both of her free throws, but the Raiders have been a relentless force on the offensive end. Here comes Matazinski. Her effort, nothing, but she got fouled by Ava Hoyt-Tomt. That'll be two shots for her at the line. First foul committed by the Old Abes. Hudson's got 5. Now, will that play much of a factor? Most likely not. With this one being a 27-point game still, as Matazinski misses the first shot. Don't worry, the hockey team right now is taking on bottom of the conference and yet to win a game in the conference, Rice Lake, tonight. So I'm 99.9% confident they'll be able to take control of that one and walk away. They just won 9-0 last night, so they should be able to have a cakewalk and be able to walk away victorious there. Here's Hoyt Thompson's jumper. That did not hit the rim. Here's Devin Anderson, but underneath the leg shot, and then underneath the leg dribble, I should say, and then the effort does not go, but she's fouled again by Rhea Shaw. 7 minutes left here in this one, and Devin Anderson at the line, and she makes her first shot. I feel like nobody coming into this game could have predicted what has happened tonight. A Hudson domination, up by 30 points with 7 minutes to go, and have controlled that number for a good time now, about 5 minutes. Bast to Katie Tuton. Addie Larson. Seemed like Memorial starting to understand they don't got it. Bash tried a 3. That's off the mark. The three-pointers haven't really been there tonight for the Old Abes, which is something some of their players excel at, as Bartz's effort rolls off the back rim as well. McCarthy, the other way on her defender, puts it over head and in for 2. Makes it a 28-point ball game. Here's Bart. Over to Jaden Matazinski. And here's Evan Larson. In the far side, a 3 on the way from Sydney Drummer, doesn't go. Offensive rebound, though, it looks like it's going to be for Hudson. It's going to be Jaden Matazinski got it. And timeout taken by the Hudson Raiders. It's 59-31, and Hudson the ball. And it's hard to argue against what Hudson has done. Memorial gave them the opportunity to build up a big lead, and Hudson very much capitalized on it. And that's what good teams in the conference will do to you if you give them the chance. Hudson now will remain the only team to beat Memorial and will, with 99% certainty, sweep the Memorial Old Abes, both home and away, in the span of 4 days. This is a tough pill to swallow if you're Memorial, especially against Hudson, which Oakland Memorial is beginning to form more of a rivalry with as time goes on because of how good matchups usually are. Here's Bart into the paint, a throw out, stolen away by Evelyn Bass. She immediately gets swarmed in the backcourt. Able to lead to Katie Tuton. Ava McCarthy now up to Evelyn Bass and Katie Tuton on the far side. Tuton, Evelyn Bass into the paint, and a foul called on Sydney Drummer. So, non-shooting foul. This will be the 6th, so anything from here on out will send Memorial to the line. Inbound to Bass for 3. Side rim, no. Offensive rebound, Larson. That doesn't go. Rebound is going to be a held ball. It'll stay with the Old Abes. That's another thing. The rebounds are so important that you can secure offensive boards and then take advantage of the second chance efforts. As Rhea Shaw's attempt to throw it to Evelyn Bass is tipped out of bounds by Sydney Drummer. Drummer, by the way, listed at 5'3" on the roster, as Matazinski makes her way out of the game. Here's Rhea Shaw on the inbound. She got fouled. That'll be the 7th foul committed by Hudson. If you want a positive for Memorial right now, they're drawing a lot of fouls in the game. They're fighting to earn the contact and go to the line. As Rhea Shaw makes the first shot. Problem is, you only get so many chances at the line in a game. And although Memorial have been making their free throws today, as Rhea Shaw makes them both, you can't get every single shot uncontested at the free throw line. Here's Bartz to the near side for Drummer. Drummer drives into the block. Drummer dancing on Bast. Needs some help. Hands off to Yeager and loses it out of bounds. 26-point ball game, and I think your only goal if your Memorial is to make it a little bit more respectable of a score come the end of the day. Oh, here's Shaw. She'll go to Addie Larson. Evelyn Bass on the bounce feed from Shaw. Two-time on the far side now. Into the near side for Ava McCarthy. McCarthy trying a three, front rim and out. Offensive rebound for Shaw. She gets it to McCarthy, and Memorial will try again. Here's Bast. Can't drive through. Tries again, can't get through Drummer. McCarthy. Over to Rhea Shaw. Shaw down to 4 minutes left here in this ball game. As Shaw loses the ball, giving it away to Dombrowski. And then on the far sideline, ball tipped out of play by Shaw. As she went toe-to-toe with Allie Yeager. Dombrowski on the inbound. Gets it into Drummer. And Sydney Drummer up the floor. Bounce pass to underneath the hoop to Gretchen Witten. And Gretchen Witten the basket. 3.5 left in this one that has been out of Memorial's reach all game long. McCarthy. Rhea shot for three. That one's around out. They're also not getting any rim luck. Sometimes you need a little help from the rim, and they haven't gotten those bounces, whereas Hudson's gotten a great amount of those bounces to go for them in their favor. Witten to Yeager. Yeager loses the handle on it. Rhea Shaw in the foot race. Tipped it out of bounds. It'll stay Hudson ball. (61-33), and well, this is the kind of game you kind of hit the reset button after this one. Refresh, go at it for the next one. Try to win your remaining conference games. As here's a corner three. That's going to fall for Lainey Hansen. As Hudson empties the bench now. Memorial keeping most of their starters out there. McCarthy spin around jump shot falls. Yeah, Lainey Hansen's out there. Olivia Osterhus is still out there. We've seen her numerous times. Here is Hansen with the ball. She'll go to Bryn Datchel. Into the corner for Yeager. Allie Yeager. Tried to bounce feed it to Dombrowski. That was tipped out of bounds. And now we'll see Delaney Clark make her way into the ball game. Clark and Callista Dow both into the game for Memorial, which are really the only players on the roster that don't see the court an insane amount, as this ball's gonna tip out of bounds. So yeah, good to see them getting some minutes in this one. as Osterhuis will throw to Dombrowski. Bounce feeds underneath to Osterhuis, who couldn't complete the runner in the lane. As the final 2 minutes will begin to wind down. Here's Callista Dow making a nice play. Goes to McCarthy, her fellow freshman. Can't get it to go. Allie Larson's attempt. She gets fouled. No, Addie Larson to the line. For Memorial, this season, this is likely going to be one hiccup. Obviously, you just lost your big piece in Nora Kling, and you have to readjust. Find someone that can step up and fill those shoes. Right now, McCarthy's got 15 points. She could be your option to fill the big shoes the sophomore Kling had. But you need a consistent scorer. Now, if you're going to want to succeed, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to play like Hudson, where you're going to have 5-6 players consistently scoring about 8-9 points per game. As Lainey Hansen makes her first free throw at the line after the foul by Callista Dow. I don't doubt we will still be back here in a few weeks' time, as Delaney Clark nearly got a 3-point play as she got fouled during the shot. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to be back here Friday and Saturday in a few weeks at the end of the month for the regional round of the girls' basketball playoffs. No doubt for me, I believe it's going to be Memorial making it through this remainder of the schedule, albeit adjustments are going to have to be made, especially if they're going to want to go toe-to-toe with these teams like Hudson, who are very good in the conference. So this will be the end of the line with Hudson for the remainder of the season. They're going to go at Rice Lake, and that's a big one. Into the corner, a 3 on the way off the mark from Fesenmeyer. As the final minute will come here in this one. Osterhuis into the near corner, 3 from Detchel. That's off the mark. Offensive board for Dombrowski. Up top for Yeager. Here's Lainey Hansen. As it seems like Hudson more than content to kind of hold the ball here. Up top for Detchel. Detchel to Osterhuis. Memorial not in any hurry to pressure. Yeager to Dombrowski. Hansen hands off to Yeager. Down to 23 seconds left. It looks like Hudson might try to get one more shot away, but they'll just resettle here with 15 seconds left. Dombrowski will hold. Down to 10 seconds now. And it looks like 65-37 will be our final score. Olivia Osterhuis will dribble it out. And that's the ball game. The Hudson Raiders demolish the Memorial Old Abes by a final score of 65-37. To be honest, a completely unexpected result, even without Nora Kling for the first time. And against the strong Hudson team, this was one Memorial thought they'd have within their grasp. Instead, Hudson pulled away early and never let the foot off the gas. Never gave Memorial a chance to pull themselves back into this one. Well, that'll do it for our coverage of girls basketball. So on behalf of everybody that made this broadcast possible, I'm Derek Montesano reminding you it's always a great day to be an Old Abe.